Where is he, John? Come on. Where's the mayor?
A phone problem when contacting the city. What?
Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't find him?
There, gone.
Okay.
Nope, I left a message. I
Okay.
didn't get to a machine.
Okay. I've sent him a quick text here as well. But we were just talking to Mayor Lucas, and my question to him was this. I have had multiple accountants in the city now reach out to me in the last week or so about this issue. And the issue is the following. The city is not honoring people who asked for an extension on their taxes. You know, if you want the extension from April 15th to get to October 15th, right? Well, the city is now saying we're not honoring that for any refunds. This is a new ordinance that was passed earlier this year, number 230158. I've got it here in front of me. And what the city is now saying to people is that if you did not file specifically an extension request with us, the city of Kansas City, Missouri, we are not honoring the extension request you filed federally with the IRS. So I've had multiple accountants reach out to me, and no one else is reporting this yet in Kansas City, and they're saying, hey, we've got regular people who are expecting refunds from Kansas City, Missouri, and they're not able to get it. I mean, I've got letters here right in front of me from the Kansas City, Missouri Finance Department where they're telling people the city, and I'm reading this letter right now, the city does not have a record of receiving an extension request for your 2023 wage period, and your 2023 wage return was submitted on June, blah, 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 after the due date. So the refund requests were denied. So people file their federal extension. They say, I need till the fall. And they just figure they can get their refunds after that because they filed, with the IRS. Kansas City's saying not so fast. That's not going to work for us anymore, John.
We don't have any record of that. I don't know what the procedure would be then if you were looking for a refund from the state for whatever reason. Wouldn't the state, I assume,
state would honor
the federal thing? So.
And the city always honored the federal thing, but this year they passed an ordinance and no one knew about it.
Oh, of course.
And here's what the ordinance reads. This is ordinance number 230158. It reads here, it's only a 2-page ordinance, but, it's all the usual legal mumbo-jumbo. A request or a claim for refund must be filed by the taxpayer on or before the due date of filing of the federal income tax return for such year. So now they passed this ordinance. Tax accountants don't know about it in Kansas City. So they're starting to come to me and they're saying, we've got regular people who are expecting refunds and they can't get it this year because they didn't specifically file an extension request with the city because they passed this new ordinance. So, this is just, and I'm reading this here from the kcmo.gov website. And it talks about how, and it is on the website, an extension request timely filed with the city of Kansas City, Missouri will provide taxpayers 6 additional months to file the return and request a refund. But let's be honest, nobody is reading through new ordinances and expecting this to be the case. It feels to me like a money grab. Because who's going to fight this, right? I mean, if you're a regular person, maybe you're owed a couple grand, maybe it's a few grand. I don't know. I'm just throwing out numbers here. Not going to be a ton of money where you're going to hire an attorney to try to claw back $2,000. So the city is able to just say, well, sorry, you missed our deadline. What do you mean? I filed with the IRS. Oh, we don't honor that anymore. This is all done through the city now. You got to file a separate extension request with us. This feels like the ultimate money grab here. 913-408-7957. Now, I know the conspiracies are running wild on the text line right now. Now, I'm going to give the mayor credit for something here. This is from a texter. Pete, you always tell him on air what you're going to ask him about. This question you didn't. No, I never tell him what I'm going to ask him about. I will give Quentin Lucas this. He has never asked me for questions or even topics before coming on this show. And none of his people have done that either. Now, I do think this one caught him a little off guard because no one is reporting this news yet in Kansas City media. But I'm telling you right now, I mean, this thing, it's not illegal. Like, there's nothing illegal about it. It's not nefarious. It's just screwing the little guy is what it is. Pass an ordinance. No one knows about it. I mean, no offense. The person that, and that's not even meant to be offended. I didn't know about it. The accountants in town didn't know about it. I don't know who knew about it. I mean, unless you're sitting around reading every ordinance that city council passes, and if you're doing that, I mean, you got to find some hobbies, like watching paint dry. Then who's doing this? Who's keeping tabs on all this? And that's what makes it, very frustrating because at least for 1 year, there are going to be people who just assume, oh, I'm going to file my extension and then I'm going to get my refunds after the fact. Not in Kansas City. Not with this new ordinance. You got to make people aware of this because also there's going to be people who filed this year on time who didn't file time or didn't file an extension last year who are going to find out about it next year, the year after that, the year after that. Isaac, go ahead. You're on KCMO.
Okay, this extension. You said that the extension must be filed by the federal due date.
Yes.
For the Kansas City.
Yes.
But if somebody can prove that they filed the extension for the federal due date, where it's no longer April 15th, it's October 15th or whatever, and they got approved for the extension, then that changes the federal due date, which means the person didn't file it.
Doesn't matter.
So
that's not
no.
That does. It doesn't matter. The city is saying you have to file a separate extension request with us.
And when did they pass this?
Earlier in the year. I don't have an exact date here. I can try to find it, but it was. Here it was signed. Mayor Lucas signed it, and it was passed on March 2nd of 23.
That's what I thought.
In the Constitution that says no ex post facto law.
Yeah.
Would that apply?
I don't know. This was March 2nd of 23. Here's what I would say, Isaac. Can it be challenged legally? Maybe. I'm not an attorney. I don't know. But also, the average person who's trying to claw back $2,000 ain't going to hire some hotshot attorney and spend $50,000 to do it. It's going to have to be an attorney who wants to stick it to the city who could challenge this.